Imagine spending $7.2 million on a frozen wasteland that everyone calls the stupidest purchase in history. Now imagine discovering it's worth over $1 trillion. Stay until the end to find out how one man's crazy deal became the most excellent bargain America ever made, and why sometimes the best decisions are the ones everyone laughs at. It's October 18, 1867. The American flag rises over Sitka, Alaska for the first time. The United States has just officially taken possession of 586,000 square miles of territory from Russia. That's twice the size of Texas. The price? $7.2 million. That's about 2 cents per acre. Sounds like a fantastic deal, right? Well, nobody in America thinks so. Newspapers are brutal. They call it Seward's Folly, after Secretary of State William Seward, the man who negotiated the purchase. Political cartoons show polar bears dancing with walruses, mocking the idea that this frozen wasteland could ever be valuable. Congress barely approved the money. One congressman calls it a sucked orange. Another says they bought nothing but walruses and Eskimos. The New York Tribune writes that Alaska is nothing more than a barren, worthless, God-forsaken region. William Seward, one of America's most respected statesmen, has just become the laughingstock of the nation. Here's what nobody understands about William Seward. This man isn't thinking about today. He's thinking 50, 100 years into the future. While his critics see ice and wilderness, Seward sees something completely different. He sees Russia weakening, unable to defend this massive territory from British expansion. He envisions a United States capable of controlling the entire Pacific coastline from California to the Arctic. He sees natural resources, shipping routes, and strategic military positioning. He sees America as not just a country, but a continental power. Russia's eager to sell. They just lost the Crimean War, they're broke, and they know they can't hold Alaska if Britain decides to take it. So Tsar Alexander II sends an ambassador to negotiate. But there's a problem. Anti-expansion sentiment in America is fierce. Many Americans think the country is already too big. Seward moves fast, negotiating through the night. By dawn, they have a deal, $7.2 million for all of Alaska. Seward wakes up the head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee at 2 a.m. to sign the treaty before anyone can stop him. He knows that if he hesitates or lets the critics build momentum, this opportunity will vanish forever. The mockery continues for years. Seward's icebox, Andrew Johnson's polar bear garden, named after the president who supported the purchase. Editorial writers compete to come up with the most creative insults. William Seward died in 1872, just 5 years after the purchase, and is still considered by many to have wasted millions of taxpayer dollars. But then, 1896 happens. Prospectors discover gold, not just a little gold, massive deposits in the Klondike region. The Klondike gold rush begins, and suddenly, 100,000 people are flooding into Alaska and Canada's Yukon Territory. Towns spring up overnight. Fortunes are made. Alaska isn't worthless. It's a treasure chest. And the gold is just the beginning. Over the next century, Alaska reveals its secrets one by one. Oil. In 1968, they discovered Prudhoe Bay, the largest oil field in North America. Today, Alaska produces hundreds of millions of barrels per year, worth billions of dollars annually. Copper, zinc, lead, silver. Fishing grounds are so rich that they supply a significant portion of America's seafood. Forests filled with timber. Tourism that brings in billions. Military bases that proved absolutely crucial during World War II and the Cold War, when Alaska became America's first line of defense against a potential Soviet attack. Today, economists estimate Alaska has contributed over $1 trillion to the American economy. $1 trillion from a $7.2 million investment. That's a return of over 13 million%. It's quite possibly the most profitable real estate transaction in human history. Here's what makes this story really matter. William Seward couldn't prove any of this in 1867. He didn't know about the gold, the oil, or the strategic importance during future wars. He just believed in vision when everyone else believed in fear. He believed in possibilities when everyone else believed in limits. Alaska became a state in 1959, almost 100 years after the purchase. Today, it's home to over 730,000 Americans living in one of the most beautiful, resource-rich regions on Earth. The very critics who mocked Seward would be speechless at what Alaska has become. October 18, 1867, wasn't just about buying land. It was about having the courage to see what others couldn't, about making a decision based on long-term vision instead of short-term popularity, about believing in potential when everyone around you sees only problems. William Seward taught us something powerful. The best opportunities often look like mistakes at first. Sometimes being laughed at is just the price you pay for being right too early. And sometimes the biggest folly is not taking the chance everyone calls foolish. What's a time you took a chance that everyone thought was crazy but turned out to be brilliant? Share your story in the comments below. If this tale of vision and vindication inspired you, you're going to love the other incredible stories of unexpected triumphs waiting for you on History Sparks. Subscribe and join our community of forward thinkers who know that today's mockery can become tomorrow's miracle. Hit that bell and let's keep discovering the moments when someone dared to see further than everyone else. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.